Hello and welcome to the Konvergent video series for the week of November 30th. Top three things we're going to cover on the video this week. First, the market was up on continuing positive sentiment, which is currently outweighing rising COVID cases. Two, we're going to touch on some concerning economic data, and finally, we're going to touch on Black Friday sales. But before we jump into the data, I hope you all had a great weekend and a fantastic Thanksgiving. I know it's different this year with everything going on in 2020, but we had a great weekend and a great small family Thanksgiving holiday, and actually had a chance to get out to the mountains and do some hiking over the weekend. And unfortunately, we picked the worst day here in the Pacific Northwest. Friday and Sunday were both beautiful and sunny, but we chose Saturday, which was cloudy. And ultimately, as we got to the top of Mount Zion, where we did the hike in the Olympic Mountains, we actually got into a bit of a snowstorm, a small snowstorm, not too much of a big deal, which definitely just added to the adventure for the day. But overall, it was a great time, nice long family hike. And so hope you had a great weekend as well. So on to the data for the week. First, the markets were up about 2% on the S&P on the week, as right now, again, positive market sentiment and positive vaccine news and an outlook into 2021 is currently outweighing some of the rising concerns around COVID, as well as some of the localized shutdowns that we're starting to see again pop up. And so onto the economic data, we'll start with unemployment. New claims for unemployment rose more than expected, and when you combine that with the new pandemic claims, we're still seeing over 1 million of total claims for new claims for unemployment. We did see a small drop in continuing claims for unemployment. However, we still believe that's more related to the fact that people falling out of eligibility versus really people getting back to work, and you can see that in the total claims for unemployment, which were also up overall on the week. And so another weak data point that we got last week from the economic front is on consumer sentiment. So we're seeing people a little bit more worried about the future. But again, we think this is probably more short term related to the more recent rise in COVID cases and localized shutdowns. But we'll have to see how that plays out in the near future. Finally, we're going to talk about Black Friday sales. If you look at most of the headlines, everything was very positive around online sales being up over 20% from where they were last year. However, the flip side of that is if you look deeper into the data, is brick and mortar sales were down about 52% on the week last week, or on Friday last week. So overall, a pretty challenging outlook, especially for those small businesses that were already struggling, that really rely on the holiday season to really make their profits for the year. So really concerning outlook in that area overall. And from an overall sales metrics, maybe it's just not as big of a deal anymore with everything going on in 2020 and everybody getting very used to shopping online. Maybe this one day is not so big of a deal anymore. People just expect to continue to shop throughout the holiday season, but we'll have to see how this overall people are feeling right now. Again, as cases are rising, as people are getting a bit more concerned, are we going to see the same level of retail sales during the holiday season that we've come to expect? So with that bottom line for the week, overall, the market bulls are still leading the way here with overall good news on vaccines, rising expectations for growth in 2021. However, and overall lower volatility. However, we have seen that recent rise in cases around COVID, as well as these localized shutdowns. We're going to have to see, is that going to have some sort of an impact on how things go in the market in the near term? So we are looking for opportunities of where we think things are going to outperform in 2021 to start re-risking and adding risk to our models. But we are going to remain cautious around some of this more shorter term concern around rising COVID cases. So with that, as always, if you have any individual questions about your situation, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we hope you have a great week, and we look forward to talking with you soon.